A very good evening and welcome to the Norfolk countryside as Snetterton 300 is roaring to life with Ginetta Supercup engines roaring around this just under 3 mile, 12 turn clockwise circuit. And a very good evening to you all watching on the JP Broadcasting Network. You join myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and Mr. James Parfitt, your commentary team, taking you through all the action as we will have a 90-minute race with a mandatory pit stop around this fantastic circuit that's known to many here in the UK motorsport scene. JP, good evening. We're in the final throes of the 20-minute qualifying session. Going to be an interesting one tonight as we rejoin our good friends at 150 Motorsport.
Yeah, it should be fun, I think. They're going to be... I don't know how we're going to get along with the length of the race. 90 minutes around Snet on the 300 circuit. Seems a long old time to me. I don't know if my old bladder will be able to handle it, to be blatantly honest with you. But I don't know. It could be fun, could not be. See how many we can get to the end, of course, and whether or not they're going to all be able to get there. But yeah, 90 minutes at Snetterton, would you be able to last the whole time?
Depends, as you said, about bladder control as well. But more to the point, the format for tonight, it is going to be a 90-minute race around here at Snetterton 300, which has been in use in this current variation since February of 2011. The original opening date for the circuit, 1951. There's going to be a pit winner that's going to only open for 10 minutes. And that's going to be when we hit the half-hour mark, and then it's only 10 minutes. And quite interestingly enough, we've got someone that's known in classic Formula Ford circles, a multi-time Formula Ford 1600 champion. Brazil's Adriano Medeiros is on the grid. We've got the likes of Thomas Potter, Dave Tudor, Sam Hayes, Ryan Turner, Mitch Marie, Chris Scott, Tom Wolfe, who have also competed in, say, the ST Cup, and also we did at one point broadcast the championship with the Ginetta Super Cups as well. But at the moment, Adriano Medeiros is the quickest out there on a 1:53.044. Nearly 7.5 tenths of a second ahead of Thomas Potter, who's a name I recognise, and I think he's been in karting a few years, but is currently looking to test, or is testing, Ginettas at the moment. So he's looking rather racy in the Laser Tools liveried Ginetta Super Cup car as he fires it through into Riches, and then down into the very hard braking zone here for turn 2. At Wilson's, he actually locks up the front, and especially with the left front smoking like a good one. And that's going to be a bit of a telling point here, JP, that if you haven't got the balance of the car already sorted, you're going to be locking up into every single braking zone, especially from high speed.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, the worst part of it from this circuit in concerns of that braking zone is obviously down in Montreal in turn 2, the hairpin. They've got to make sure that whole infield section, really, through Palmer, Agostini, Hamilton, all through there, coming out of Williams, and then it's down into the Brundle-Nelson chicane, of course, at the end of the Bentley Straight. Now, that's going to be a difficult corner in any car, let alone a Ginetta, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so timer has expired here in qualifying, so Thomas Potter coming down the Bentley Straight, heading into Brundle very, very shortly. Some of the other drivers now making their way through out of Agostini and nearly going side by side into Hamilton. Thomas Potter underneath the bridge, hard on the brakes, turns it left, smoking the left front again. Ika Gunnar through Brundle into Nelson. Now, loses the back end, gets a bit of a tank slapper, manages to gather it all together before the bomb hole, and then into Coram. And then we've also got Murray's, which is the left-hander coming up before you have to get on the power as early as you dare. So running on board with the number 16. And Thomas Potter goes up the gearbox and will dive into pit lane. And that is his qualifying run completed. And due to have 14 drivers, and looks like we've had 12 complete a lap, whether all of them have been allowed or not, not 100% sure, but Callum Paris has not set, well, has had lap times disallowed, but it's Adriano Medeiros that will take pole position for the 90-minute race. So we're just waiting for the last few efforts to happen. I think that pretty much is going to conclude the session here, but Callum Paris does come across the line. 2 minutes 6.206 puts Callum's car on what will be 13th. We've got a driver by the name of Ash. We've also got a driver whose name in 12th position, I'm reluctant to say.
Call him baby.
Yeah, exactly. But there we go. I can see. Hello to Catherine, Thomas's sister. I remember. I thought as soon as I saw that name, I recognised it straight away. But Thomas does love his sim racing, as does sister Catherine. So we'll see how things go over. There we go. There's the name in question. Fart Baby. That's an interesting username on Assetto Corsa, isn't it?
Yeah, I've requested that we try and get real names, but I'm just hoping that we get them. That's as much as I can say on that one. I don't really know.
We're not gonna dwell on that any further, I think, to be completely honest with you, JP.
No, dude, there's not a lot I could do on that one, unfortunately. I'm not in control of the names.
No, neither am I. You can hear the revs start to build. It's Medeiros and Potter on the front row. Cart J and Bob on row 2. Dave Tudor and Sam Hayes, row 3. Ryan Turner, Mitch Marie, Chris Scott and McSquaw rounding out your top 10, followed by Tom Wolf, Fart Baby, Callum Paris and Ash, due to start from the back of the grid. But it will be very, very interesting indeed how this will go over the next 90 minutes here at Snetterton 300. Should be an interesting one as the red lights start to ignite and all 6 lights will very shortly go out, and the 90-minute race here at Snetterton 300 is underway. A little bit of a slow start there from Adriano Medeiros, and Thomas Potter shoots straight into the lead, followed by Cart J.
It's caused chaos.
There's chaos in the mid-pack, and that is... Oh dear, Medeiros has hit the wall. He's been clattered into... Not exactly the start that the Brazilian Classic Formula Ford 1600 multi-time champion would have wanted. And Thomas Potter is got away like a stabbed rat. But he's got Cart J looking to his outside into Palmer. But Potter takes the inside line. Now on the short run down to Agostini. Cart J looking to the outside of Potter once again. Hayes, Turner, Shooter are trying to do their level best, but Potter's going to hold on to that lead through into Agostini. And Cart J looking to again try and get through. Might try the opportunity here at Hamilton, but not quite. Has to wait for the opportunity. Runs a little bit wide off the circuit. Sam Hayes will be to his outside. Cart J defends through Oggies, now into Williams. And then the long run down the Bentley Straight as it's side by side between Turner and Hayes for P3. Oh, bit of a snap of oversteer from Ryan Turner. He holds on. Oh, more dramas for Bob and Tudor. In the meantime, we've had plenty of calamities on this opening lap. And still the battles are going on. Oh dear, don't do that into Nelson's. That was Hayes on Turner, bit of a robust elbows out manoeuvre. But Potter is away and clear from Cart J, and the lead now is just over a second.
Yeah, it was a bit of a manic start there for Medeiros. I'm not quite sure what happened at the start, but he literally didn't go anywhere and then caused chaos in the process because everybody was hurtling down into turn 1. They were trying to avoid him and didn't know where to go. They split him like a sandwich and not really quite sure where it was on that one, to be blatantly honest. And then all of a sudden it all went wrong as we've had our first DNF of the evening, and there's Ryan Turner in the wall.
Oh, big. Oh, exactly.
It wasn't where Ryan Turner was. It was Sam Hayes. No, was it?
Yeah, it was Sam Hayes. Took a big wallop on that steel barrier on the start-finish straight. The two came together, and Hayes was spat out exit stage left, like an unwanted tissue after you've used it to blow your nose with. But Sam Hayes is back in the fight. He's now closing in on McSquaw. This is the battle for 4th and 5th position. But Medeiros has now climbed his way back into 6th position as a result of all the chaos and carnage that has been happening in front of the Brazilian. And yeah, well, he's a good 6 seconds away from Sam Hayes, but he's got a bit of clear air here, JP, so that might be able to give him a chance to dust himself off, pick himself back up, and just get on with closing the gap as Ryan Turner now finds himself down into 5th position. So Turner's had drama as well, and he's dropped behind McSquaw and Hayes. So a three-way battle that is effectively 6.8 seconds behind Cartjay, who's closing it again on Thomas Potter for the race lead.
Yeah, I think so, but we're going to see how they get on here. What's Potter going to be able to do? And can McSquaw and Hayes and Turner not actually fight with each other and put each other into the wall, of course, there. Tasha Morello-Scott, this is brilliant. She says there as well. I believe that Callum is going to pull this back. He's in 12th, mate. So,
and Patrick is saying, oh dear, Chris. Chris Scott.
Yeah.
Chris currently in P10 at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure that a couple of your predictions in YouTube chat are going to go correctly. As you can see, he's just cleared McSquaw there with Turner coming in behind him. And McSquaw one's wide and Turner goes through.
Yeah, and whilst they've been battling away, it's opened up the gap. Cartjay now through on Thomas Potter for the race lead. Cartjay's got the fastest lap of the race at 1:55.374.
Lost it again.
Theodore, oh dear, it's side by side between the pair. Down into Wilson's, into turn 2. Potter's got the inside line. Can Cartjay get the overlap? Not quite. Potter gets the traction coming out of the corner, but Cartjay looks to the outside into the left-hander here at Palmer's. And once again, Potter able to use this a little bit more momentum, carrying that speed through the corner, but Cartjay's got the slipstream on the run down to Agostini. He's going to try and put it to the outside again. Can he get the undercut? Can he tweak to the inside? If Potter makes a mistake, he gets a good launch, does Cartjay, out of Agostini at turn 4. Now the short shoot up to the sweeping left here at Hamilton. Dab of brakes on the apex. Now into the right-hander, very tight right-hander here at Oggies. Lock up of the right front by Potter. And they've now got the opportunity to go through Williams, and Cartjay makes a mistake on the exit.
Yeah, big run wide there. I think Cartjay at the same time got a little bit squirrely. Now it's down the Bentley straight they go. It's not going to be here that's going to be the problem. It's going to be able to handle the left-hander at the end of this of Brundle before they go hard on the brakes into Nelson. It's not an easy corner. You've got to brake and turn at the same time, and that is why that is not an easy corner. Potter just literally showed us why it's not an easy corner and went off the side of the circuit, unfortunately.
Yep, and a flash of the headlights by Cartjay to say thank you very much. I'll take that every single day of the week. Now they go through Coram, and it's going to be hard on the brakes into the 90 left here at Murray's, and it's going to be back on the power. Potter's going to have the advantage with regards to the slipstream in his 9 on NASCAR bump drafting. Cartjay as they come across the line about a tenth and a bit apart. Potter to the outside as we complete lap number 3. On to lap 4 we go. Potter to the outside here at Riches. That's not quite going to work unless Cartjay makes a mistake. He nearly opened the door for Potter to go through at T1. Now hard on the brakes down into Wilson's again they go. Great battle between these two. Now, looking at the battle between Hayes, Turner and Medeiros. Medeiros is running P5 at the moment, but is only 0.8 of a second behind Hayes. And there is the Brazilian. They're coming through Wilson's now, and it's going to be the run through into the left-hander here at Palmer's. Now, you would favour Adriano Medeiros as having the more experience on this circuit in real life, but also he's not exactly he's not exactly a slouch when it comes to qualifying. I mean, he put it on pole position, and Medeiros goes to make it 3 wide round the outside at Agostini, but he's going to clip the grass slightly, and that's going to allow Mitch Marie to close in on the Brazilian. Yeah,
they're going to be running side by side. Marie's going to try that line, backs out again. Now comes in, we got Turner coming in behind him at the same time through the right-hander now of Oggies. Is now going to be able to open this up, nail Williams, but you're going to see here, it's going to be the turning braking that is the most difficult part coming down into this corner. It is a dreadful corner, and if you miss it, as Potter has shown us, you will end up off the side of the road. Now Medeiros all the way to the right, you can see Turner and Hayes bumping and grinding into the corner here as well. Hard on the brakes, get the rotation. Did they all get it? They did, and everybody made it through cleanly, but yeah, very difficult corner.
Yeah, Turner was itching ever closer as Hayes makes a mistake. Through out of the bomb hole and in through Coram goes Medeiros. And the Brazilian makes his way back up into P4 and now can start going hunting after Ryan Turner, who's now up into P3 out of Murray's. And in the meantime, the gap between Cartjay and Potter has now expanded to the best part of 2.7 seconds. Medeiros is leading the train from 4th to 6th, but he's got to try and do what he can to break the toe for the cars behind of Hayes and Marie and go after Turner. Of course, this is a long race, folks. Got about 21 minutes and 40 seconds as Mitch Marie dives up the inside of Sam Hayes. Great move there through at Wilson at turn 2, and now takes P5.
Potter just lost 3.4 seconds over the last lap. He's managed to get it back down to 2.7, so I'm not entirely sure what Potter did, but whatever he did, he caused himself some dramatics because he lost an absolute bunch of time. 3.4 seconds is massive on one lap, and he's just done that last time around, so he's going to be fighting an uphill fight at the moment to try and get this gap back down again. They're very similar, but the difference is Cartier's best lap is a 54.9. Potter's best lap at the moment is a 56.2. So Cartier at the moment has really got the bit between his teeth. Has Medeiros, who is chasing down on Turner.
Yeah, and that gap is quickly closing. Medeiros is in the slipstream. Now, where is he going to put the car heading into Brundle? He's not quite close enough to make an opportunity of a move, unless Turner makes a mistake at this point. But both of them get through nice and cleanly at Brundle, and Nelson through into the bomb hole. Got to be very careful of flirting with the grass on the outside through this sweeping double right-hander complex. But with the bomb hole, you've got a little bit of a dip in the middle, where the compression has to be dealt with, and then into hard braking zone into Murray's. Medeiros looking rather racy as they come out of the final corner. Medeiros is closing in. Medeiros might try to go for the inside line here, but Turner is not giving him any room whatsoever. On the run down to Riches, Medeiros sweeps to the outside. Now, is he going to have the opportunity of maybe getting through on Turner? He is. And that is a fantastic move by the Brazilian, using all that know-how, all that savoir-faire, round the outside of Ryan Turner, who didn't really fight it. And Medeiros now up into the final step of the rostrum at this point, as we are past the 10-minute mark out of 90.
Yeah, great job from them guys as well. Great move from Medeiros at the same time. But Turner's now got to make a decision about going after him. Mitch Marie has cleared Hayes. Hayes is there in 6th place now. And Mitch Marie in that wonderful Buzz Lightyear livery Ginetta. However, he has just put it to infinity and beyond almost on the grass there. Thank you for that. Right at that moment as well. Fair play. As Turner and Medeiros. Medeiros has now got a long way to chase down Potter. Can he do it before the end of this race? He's got 1 hour 20 on the clock.
Yeah, we're about 19 minutes away from the pit stop window opening here at Snetterton. That'll just have 10 minutes. And it is a mandatory pit stop for every single driver. Otherwise, but there's been an incident in the background coming out of Williams. And that is Mitch Marie. Oh dear, has tumbled down from 5th spot. He's ahead of Sam Hayes. And Mitch Marie has dropped behind Shooter and McScore. Now runs P8. That was not exactly what you want coming out of Williams, especially when you're trying to apply the power early to get a good run down the Bentley Straight. And all that hard work that Mitch Marie has just done has just been squandered.
Yeah, it has, unfortunately, for Marie there. He definitely did go off to infinity and beyond, didn't he? And dropped all the way down into 8th. Was doing a great job battling away with Sam Hayes, Ryan Turner. Medeiros is now going after Potter. There is a fastest lap of the race at 53.7 for Medeiros, 55.2 for Potter, 54.3 for Cartier. So Medeiros has taken time out of all of them, and at this rate it is not going to be very long until he gets up to Potter, if he keeps clearing nearly 1.7 seconds every lap.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, the gap between Medeiros and Potter is the best part of 7 seconds, so give it maybe 6 laps or so, and I would say that Medeiros will be clear and past Potter at that point, as he makes his way through Agostini and applies the power in the Ginetta G55 Supercup car. Also, the Ginetta Supercups were part and parcel of the TOCA support package for the British Touring Car Championship for a multitude of years. Helped progress the careers of Adam Morgan and Tom Ingram into the British Touring Car Championship. Now they've been mainstays for quite a few years, the latter having become a British Touring Car champion in his own right 2 years ago.
Yep. Do love a good little BTC, don't we, down here? Did get the pleasure of watching them live on Thruxton. That was quite good. Then we have guys having a go. I haven't watched much this year, to be blatantly honest. I'm not entirely down with what's going on, Alex. I've not had much time this season to watch any racing, really.
Likewise, I mean, that's the thing when schedules get so busy. I mean, from this weekend back to back, I think I've got 4 on the bounce. 1 in Italy, 2 in Belgium, 1 in Germany. So I think my opportunity to watch the British Touring Car Championship this year has rather gone by the wayside, so to speak. It's like water under the bridge, and I'm never going to see it again, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the problem though. When it's just life, isn't it? We all you know, we all get very, very busy, and that's the situation. But Squaw has made some drama. He's dropped all the way down. He's just lost 2 places to Scott and Bob at the same time here, who are not very far apart. Bob and Scott going after each other as they're coming into turn 1. Scott goes in deep. Bob says, "Thank you very much. I'll have that. Go through." I've watched BTCC live at pretty much all the rounds trackside. Absolutely fantastic racing, says Catherine Potter.
Yep.
Thanks for rubbing that in here, Catherine. You know what I mean? much love for you for gloating on YouTube chat as well. So there you go. I'm off to Santa Pod in a couple of weeks.
Oh, don't you start that being childish.
No, that's it. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
Steady now, steady. Right, 15 minutes in. Let's take you through the running order at the moment with a 4.3 second advantage. Kart J leads the way ahead of Thomas Potter, who now has 5 seconds between him and Brazil's Adriano Medeiros. Ryan Turner and Sam Hayes complete the top 5. Dave Tudor, Mitch Marie, Chris Scott, Bob McScore and Tom Wolfe round out your top 11. We've also had 2 retirements. Paris and Fart Baby have both retired. So, unfortunately, we are down to 11 runners and riders. We are less than 14.5 minutes away from the pit stop window officially opening here at Snetterton. And then the drivers will have 10 minutes, no more, to have their mandatory pit stop. New fastest lap by Medeiros. Oh, he's really chomping at the bit as the Brazilian. He's just put in a 53.425. And he's closed the gap to Thomas Potter to what is around about 3 and a bit seconds. Not even that now. So Medeiros, you can see there's Potter just about to go through into Palmer's. And Medeiros is closing it on him with a head of steam.
Absolutely flying last lap. 54.5, 53.4 for Medeiros. So he's still quicker than Potter at this moment in time. But he's not as quick there as well. My brother would say British GT Beach Dean VIP hospitality with free ice creams beats everything.
And that's probably including chinwags with Johnny Adam as well, Catherine, I would imagine. Because Beach Dean run they've always run Aston Martins for a multitude of years and continue to do so in the British GT Championship this year. Yeah, ice creams. I mean, anyone can be tempted by ice cream, can't they, these days? Yeah, do you want a free ice cream? There you go.
Give me a good 99 with a flake with strawberry sauce and sprinkles, and I'm yours. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Everyone has. Yeah, I probably would like to do the Kimi Räikkönen, plain Magnum and a bottle of Coca-Cola. There we go.
Yeah, easy enough. We're so cheap. It's unbelievable. So, yeah, easily pleased up here in the booth this evening on this one, but I think we could end up in about probably a good 4 laps, maybe that. But I think we're going to have a Medeiros Potter battle.
Yeah, and yeah, that gap is really coming down. It's 2.7 seconds and closing. Medeiros is really putting in some great average laps at the moment. He's just done a 1:53.5. And is a second quicker than Thomas on that previous lap as they're just going through Wilson. It's the originally known, as you mentioned, the previous name being Montreal, but named after the late Justin Wilson, who we lost unfortunately, the best part of nearly a decade ago in IndyCar. Very much remembered. And I was at Snetterton a little while ago, and I think they've got an IndyCar with. I'm not too sure if they've got an IndyCar on display with his name on it. But yeah, I think it's going to be. Interestingly enough, yes, you said about the Potter-Medeiros battle. I'm going to be interested to see what strategies the drivers are going to bring in, because they'll only have a 4 maybe 5 lap window at best to try and decide when they're going to bolt into the pit lane.
To be honest, I would look as soon as it opens. If you're not in traffic and you're not fighting with anybody, I would go into pit lane. I'm just saying, get it over and done with. You know you've done it then, because if you don't do it, you're only going to get disqualified. So you need to make sure that you go and do it anyway. So I think at the end of the day, we need to, from my point of view, I would just, as a driver, go in as soon as it opens, get it done, and that allows me to chase down without having to worry about going into pits there as well. Catherine, again, my brother wants him to sponsor him next year in Ginetta Junior so he can have free ice cream. Well, that's fair enough, isn't it?
Catherine, you make a valid point, but he's got to try and really twist Beach Dean's arm to say, right, here's your fridge, but
Medeiros has just gone through on Potter.
Second. Yep, there we go.
That was not 4 laps. That was literally like a half a lap. I'm not quite sure how that gap dissipated. How it went down. No, how it went down so quickly, to be honest, because Potter had a little bit more of a lead, but I don't think Medeiros was that quick going into the final corner, unless Potter made a mistake, of course, and come out the other side and unfortunately lost that second place. He's now going to have to go in after them again. Not many other battles really to look at. Sam Hayes driving around kind of on his Todd with Ryan Turner. Dave Tudor, in the background's got Mitch Marie closing in that wonderful Buzz Lightyear livery. Unfortunately for Mitch, sent it off to infinity and beyond, and then lost a bucket load of places in the process. Bob's there pretty much on his own. He's trying to chase down Mitch Marie. Scott's trying to get onto the back of everybody. McSquaw is all the way down in 10th, and Wolf is a little bit further away in 11th. So at the moment, it's really talking about whether or not Medeiros can catch Kart J, and can Hayes stay ahead of Dave Tudor and Mitch Marie.
Well, I think also one of the things we've got to look at here is whether Thomas Potter can keep with Adriano Medeiros, but at the point of talking about that, with just over 9 minutes to go until the pit stop window, the gap is now the best part of nearly 2 seconds. So it's just really a case of, if Potter can keep within a window whereby he can undercut Kartjay, because now that Medeiros has gotten past him and cleared away from him, Thomas is going to be running a little bit more on his own, whereas we've got Bob No-Mates down in 8th position. I would say if his name was Billy, then we could add No-Mates without any equivocation, because he is running on his own at the moment. But Medeiros, that was a 7-second lead. Now Kartjay has had also a few dramas of his own, and look, Medeiros
just pulled 5 seconds in 1 lap.
Distance. Yeah, Medeiros last time round was 5.1 seconds quicker than Kartjay, who did a 58.3. Medeiros 53.2. Well, that's why Adriano Medeiros has had the success rate over the last few years in classic Formula Ford 1600. He knows this track like the back of his hand, and he got introduced to British racing courtesy of ex-Formula 1 driver Alex Ribeiro, of all people. And now Kartjay is going to have to watch his rear, because here comes once again a fast-charging Adriano Medeiros, who is looking to get back to the top of the field.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be long at this rate, to be honest. If he carries on taking time out of him as much as he is, it isn't going to be long beforehand. Kartjay's got to bury the next couple of quarters, Brundle especially. making sure he can get through this successfully as well. He has managed to get through that. Medeiros now is on again through the charge, coming into the bomb hole, through into Cora now, and Medeiros is closing all the way back. He's just taken another 3 attempts over the last couple of corners, and at the end of the day, he's coming at him quite quickly here into Murray's. I don't think this is going to be 3 or 4 laps. I think this could be in the next 3 or, well, 1 corner even, because Kart J made a mistake, and Medeiros is going to go through. They're going to run side by side down into turn 1 at the moment. Medeiros on the left, Kart J on the, well, your left now. Looking at the screen here, Alex, is going to be a big old defense from Kart J. He's not going to make it. Medeiros sweeps around the outside. Thank you very much. Brushes him up like a road sweeper clearing rubbish. Job done. See you later.
Well, Medeiros was at one point after the opening lap down in 10th, and with just a... Oh, Kart J just has a massive snap of oversteer coming out of Wilson's, and straight away that has put him into the path of Thomas Potter. They come through out of Palmer's, but Kart J, yeah, mistake out of Murray's. Medeiros was over him like flies on muck and got quickly past. Did it again. Medeiros, not a stranger to throw it to the outside, and he's done that twice this race, both at the opening corner at Riches, and now Kart J has got Thomas Potter closing it on him. Kart J has made 2 big errors on this lap, and now Potter's got some welcome motivation in the fact that he can try and chase down the man that overtook him for the race lead and go back up into 2nd position, and down the Bentley straight they go. Medeiros with a 2.5 second lead. The closing rate of speed not engaging quite yet for Thomas Potter on the run down the Bentley straight into Brundle. And we're going to see lock up from Kart J, lock up from Potter. They both still make it neatly through Brundle and Nelson, but Potter goes slightly off track. Oh, he's clipped the grass coming out of Nelson's, and that's compromised him ever so slightly, opened up the gap between him and Kart J. So Potter's got to gather himself back up and do it all again here on the next lap. We're about to complete lap number 13 of this race. 5 minutes until the pit stop window opens, and Adriano Medeiros finds himself back at position number 1, leading the way. Potter closing in on Kart J, heading down into Riches here on lap 14. What's Potter going to do? Kart J takes a wide line through the corner. Potter goes 2 wheels on the grass once again, keeps the throttle pinned, hard on the brake into Wilson, and he's still got to try and do it all over again. But maybe if he keeps close in proximity to the rear wing of Kart J, he might have a chance coming out of Williams and onto the Bentley straight heading to Brundle.
Yeah, it might do here as well. I'm a little bit concerned that everybody who had Medeiros behind him made a mistake. Kart J was one, made the mistake. Potter was made a mistake. They've all made mistakes behind the person they didn't, or had the person behind. They didn't really want to have him behind them. You know, this is not somebody who's just wants to go and crash bang wallop on Wreckfest. You know, Medeiros is a capable racer driver in sim and in real life, and at the end of the day, both Kart J and Potter made a mistake with him wrapped in right behind him. So unfortunately, that's why they've lost everything that they've lost at the moment. We've got Mitch Marie. I was just keeping an eye on Mitch Marie and Tudor, and they've come back together. Now the interesting thing is Bob is not too far behind. So these 3 cars in 5th, 6th and 7th could end up having their own little battle here. And however, if Mitch Marie does that, that battle is going to last very, very, well, it ain't going to last long at all, to be honest, because I think Bob's going to have him by the time they get down the Bentley straight and in through Brundle now. And there we go, Bob's on the right hand side. You got to leave him room, mate. You can't just squeeze him that much. He ain't an orange in a juicer. Here we go, down they go. Mitch Marie slots in right behind him, pulls out again. He's looking for the inside. Don't do that. Don't do that. Neither of them are going to stop. Oh, neither of them barely stopped there, coming out the other side. And we go once more. Bob and Mitch Marie as we go 2 by 2 into the bomb hole.
Elbows out with Stanley knife sharpened attached. And Mitch Marie retakes 6th position after a big old scrap with Bob at that point. Now through into Murray's. Yeah, Mitch Marie just got it all wrong, and then Bob just went straight through. Look, not too far behind. Sam Hayes is also closing in, as Bob is quickly on the flashes to Mitch Marie saying, "Oi, I want that position back." And it's just flashed to the lights all the way down the start-finish straight. and that's not going to really affect the Buzz Lightyear liveried Mitch Marie car in the number 44. Just waiting for, this is Captain Mitch Marie, requesting permission to take off very shortly, please. Well, this is on an old RAF base, folks, let's not forget. So I'm wondering where the airstrip is in all of this. It's probably the Bentley straightaway.
I think this is the thing, because this is not an old Air Force base. Silverstone, Thruxton, they're all old Air Force bases as well. And I think this is what lends itself. Now, interestingly, about a couple of these circuits, if you look back to the original setup of this circuit in, what was it, 51 to 64, they actually used the runways for both out and in. So, and the same with Thruxton have done it as well. The same with Silverstone used the runways at the same time. And it was only, I believe, the early 80s that we started getting some form of Snet layout that we've got now. And it was actually, between 80 and 89, we've got the layout sort of the same layout without the infield, which basically made it an oval. And then it was 91, 92 to 2000s and 2011 onwards that we got the current circuit, as Mitch Marie has just gone off once more. He didn't go once into infinity. He's decided that twice was good enough, and he now drops down the order to 7th.
Yeah, and also the parents of Thomas Potter have just jumped into chat, said, go on, son, the flying teapot. Yes, I was trying to remember his nickname that was given to him in the world of karting. He's loving this, so well done to the team who's organised it. I know that he's recently been bestowed with some Moser racing equipment, including steering wheel and pedals, so he's been using them quite a lot recently. But we are now getting shortly towards the pit stop window. 20 seconds on the timer until that happens. We're now on lap number 16 with Adriano Medeiros leading by nearly 5 seconds ahead of Kart J, and Thomas the Flying Teapot Potter is right with him. He's about half a second behind, so it's ding ding, seconds out round, whatever you want to call it. Potter's just lost a bit more time. Pit window now officially open. So it looks like we are going to see how the dice are going to be thrown by our respective drivers in this race, because if you are, as James rightly said, if you are battling away with somebody, you are going to keep your focus until the last possible moment. Whereas drivers like, say, Ryan Turner, Dave Tudor, Bob, Mitch Marie, Scott Hayes, Sam Hayes, Chris Scott, you know, they've got an opportunity maybe to get themselves back into some semblance towards the top 5 by maybe throwing the undercut in the pit stop phases, but we've yet to see anyone take that chance, roll the dice, and maybe get either snake eyes or lucky number 7.
I think that's the thing. You've got to now sit here with an hour to go. You've got to sit here and wonder how they're going to play for the next hour. They need to get this pit stop out of the way. As I said, me personally, I would just go in and get it done. The likes of Mitch Marie, people like that. Ryan Turner, as we speak, has got into pit lane. Bob's still gone through. They're all going to jump Turner at the moment. Mitch Marie has carried on as well. Sam Hayes has carried on. I think for me, I would just basically go into the pits now and get it done. Medeiros, he can kind of pick whenever he wants to go in, due to the fact that, you know, he's on a Sunday drive at the moment. He's got his grandma in the car and he's just poodling around Snetterton 300 out in the lead by 6 seconds. However, the likes of Kart J and the likes of Potter, who have not got that luxury, they've got 1.2 seconds between them. It's that decision now. Does Potter cover off Kart J and go in with him, or does he try something different? Personally, to be able to make something work out of this so they're not playing follow my leader, Alex, I would try something different, whether or not it's going in early or staying out later. Something's got to give here, because clearly at the moment, no offense to all your Potter fans in YouTube, he hasn't got the pace to try and catch Kart J and get past him. So he's got to try and do something within that pit lane cycle to see what he can do here.
Yeah, maybe if he can, you know, the in lap and the out lap are going to be crucial on these pit stops, folks. So that's going to be a decision that the driver themselves will have to make. as they will come out of the final corner at Murray's. Oh, and Thomas Potter goes and uses the Murray's Joker lap, and they both go in. They both go in at the same time, so he's gone to cover off Kart-J.
Why cover him off? I don't understand that. You're not, unless something goes drastically wrong, which it has done for Kart-J. He's just missed his pit box. He's going backwards and forwards. He can't quite get service there. I think the pit crew have gone on holiday. Potter's on his bike. Kart-J's still sat there, unfortunately. And at the moment isn't going anywhere. He just went backwards and forwards, and now he's on his bike. I don't even know if he's been serviced, to be honest. But I can tell you one thing, as we spoke about, Potter got lucky there, because if that isn't an issue with Kart-J, I think Potter's come out on top just about on that one. But as I said, he had to try something different. I personally wouldn't have covered him off. I think that's just follow my leader. That's not ideal way of doing it. But that's just me. I think at the moment, Potter got away with one there. I think Kart-J might have had him.
Well, looks like Kart-J's crew were on a Jet 2 holiday probably at that time.
Hey,
but
I love a good Jet 2 holiday.
There we go. Right.
Right, I do. They're good holidays. You go to Spain, you enjoy yourself. Kushti. What more could you ask for?
God, I thought Del Boy had entered the chat there, Mr. Parfitt.
Listen, I love
when you went Kushti.
Yeah, I love going to Spain. I went there with my family. I've been there a couple of times over the last couple of years, and I've loved every single minute. The kids loved the last resort as well. They had water parks and food, and it was all inclusive. They could go and have burgers and nuggets and God knows what else all the way through the day, and it was food served all day. But right now we've got Dave Tudor is going to have a go at Potter now, down into Brundle, gets that left-hander done. Potter's going to run around the outside. I don't like this. Tudor's got to try and come back. Little bit of argy-bargy. Potter hanging on here, and I do mean literally hanging on at the same time.
Well, that depends on whether he's had any tyres fitted as well, because those will not be up to temperature. Thing is, Toots has only got 5 minutes to go before he needs to jump into the pit lane. So the big question here is, again, Potter he's stumbling coming out of Murray's. And Toots now decides, I'm going to dive into pit lane. Mitch Marie, what will Buzz Lightyear's Ginetta equivalent do on this particular occasion? Stays out. Sam Hayes has stayed out as well, I believe. So, so Thomas Potter now finds himself quite a long way behind Adriano Medeiros. The gap between them is about 8 seconds. And there is Medeiros just out of shot going through Palmer's. Meantime, Ryan Turner and Chris Scott, they move up to 6th and 7th. And as Tudor will now rejoin in 8th position, so 4 minutes and a quarter left to go on the timing. And if someone does not take their mandatory pit stop, we've had that before in races. It's an instant DQ via the server.
We had a lot of dramas, didn't we, on one of them? I think there was about 3 or 4 people that took the pit stops, didn't get serviced, then they took them outside the window, and then they ended up getting DQ'd as well. Catherine's offering us 50 quid off per person. That's £200 for a race car, apparently. I'm not quite sure what that's in response to be blatantly honest. I think either me and you have missed something completely going on there or not. I don't know. Catherine's just offering 50 quid. Well, I need sponsorship as well, Catherine. I've got a son that's doing junior drag bike racing. If you want to sponsor a drag bike next season, you're more than welcome. In fact, you've got 2 doing it next season. Hence, I'm in Santapod in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, you know, if you want to go for it, let me know. At the same time as these guys running side by side, Scott and Turner. Oh, nope. Ryan Turner, unfortunately, goes off the side of this. Oh, he's in. Oh, he's going. He's we're in pit lane.
Right. Server issue, I believe, possibly.
Everybody's gone. Oh, Jet 2's holidays. Oh, okay. Everybody's disappeared on me.
So whether we've had a server issue with 52 minutes and 40 seconds to go on the timer.
Leave it with me.
Bear with us, folks.
I'm on the hunt. Hold up. Hold up. Hold on a minute. Something's just gone. Everybody's gone. Oh, well, this is new. Anybody who knows Tom, can you just tell me if Tom is still racing, please? Because if he is still racing, then it's it's a problem on my end with the likes of Ryan Turner, who was the person I was following at the same time here. So, yeah, let me know on that one, because I'm trying to find out from everybody if people are still racing. I believe they seem to be either still racing or I'm the only one that's lost speed here. If that is the case, I will have to try and rejoin it. I don't know if I can get back in once I get out again. So, yeah, if anybody knows Tom, the race is still going on. Right, bear with us, guys. I'm going to have to try and go out and come back again. You can see, I think, following Ryan Turner at the moment he crashed there, Alex, has just killed me and kicked me out. So bear with me, everybody. I will see what we can do.
We'll be back in a few minutes. Well, welcome back, folks. We are back with the gang here at Snetterton 300 for 150 Sports. So the race has been continuing, and there is Chris Scott currently running in 9th place at the moment. He's quite a distance behind Mitch Marie, who's well off into the tumbleweeds, as is Adriano Medeiros, who is continuing to lead this race, the Brazilian multi-time classic Formula Ford 1600 champion. He's leading ahead of Kart Jane. Looks like Thomas Potter is down in 3rd place. So Adriano Medeiros showing us the fastest lap. Well, his actual fastest lap is not a 1:54.3, as James has had to rejoin the server. So bear with us whilst we wait for the timing tower to decide to populate on the left-hand side of the screens. But Medeiros now closing in on McScore at the moment, trying to put him a lap down, JP.
Yeah, he is at the moment. I'm just trying to figure out why that timing tower is not back. I'm a bit confused at the moment, so bear with us here while we continue to fight fires. I do believe that problem was caused by Ryan Turner disappearing or going off somewhere else into the shadow realm. We have lost the timing tower. I'm aware of that, Catherine. We are trying to figure out where it's gone at the moment.
Oh, so McScore nearly gave a little bit of a tap to the right rear of Medeiros there. Oh dear. It's not going well for McScore, I'm afraid.
No, but we've just bear with. I will carry on doing my thing while you carry on doing yours.
So Chris Scott still holding on to 9th place. He's just started his 22nd lap of this race, and the pit stop window closed just over 2.25 minutes ago, which means that everyone should have completed their mandatory pit stop. If not, it's an automatic disqualification from the server. And
I can give you a tower, but it's not The one that I was the one that we had.
No.
Unfortunately.
So all we're going to do is ignore everyone from 12th downwards, because Mr. James Parfitt is, even though he's a spectator, his car is in pit lane. Why? Because he's doing the broadcast cameras as well as calling this action alongside me.
Yeah.
So from 1st to 11th are the drivers that we are going to worry about at the moment. But Kart J versus Potter, it's ding ding round 3, and it is not much between the pair of them at the moment. They are very, very close to one another. Potter will have the slipstream. And at the moment, it is the case of, can Potter get through on Kart J? The way things are going at the moment, Medeiros is leading by a good 20 plus seconds. So even if Potter gets past Kart J, he's going to have just over 45 minutes to try and close that gap. But there has been a mistake from Medeiros. He's lost about a second and a bit of that race lead from Kart J. Ryan Turner, Dave Tudor rounds out your top 5. Sam Hayes, Mitch Marie, Bob, Chris Scott on your screens at the moment round out your top 9. McSquaw and Tom Wolfe complete the 11 runners, still carrying on around the circuit here at Snetterton 300, just based on the outskirts of Norwich. But we get very close to completing lap number 23. So it looks like there's a good universal vote in the YouTube chat from Callum, from Tasha, Catherine, saying kind of like this timing tower, so might as well stick at it.
Yeah,
so,
the thing has got me in it. Like, I ain't doing anything. Get out. I'm not doing nothing. I've got to spectate, but yeah, I can't get. I'm going to go with it, guys, for a minute, because I can't get the one back that we have. I've got all the other components of the pretty blue colours, but I cannot get the timing tower. So whatever Ryan Turner did, it's a hashtag blame Ryan Turner in YouTube chat at the moment, because whatever he did at the moment, he went over the barrier and down the dip and then went on his end. It caused me mass dramas. So thanks, Mr. Turner.
No. Ryan Turner yeets the server, hashtag.
Yes. It's basically the situation. So, yeah.
Hashtag Turner server yeet.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's still gone a little bit peaked on, but we're trying to get there. We're getting back. I'm sort of pressing buttons. We've got everybody coming back as well. Trying to keep an eye on some of the situations that's going on. At the moment, there isn't much fighting going on apart from Thomas Potter and Kart J as they're continuing in 3rd and 2nd.
Yeah, they're just coming through Agostini, and the gap has been it's been all the while, over the last couple of moments, less than a second between the pair of them. But Medeiros, his lead is expanding whilst Kart J and Potter battle tooth and nail over the runner-up step on the rostrum in this race. 44 minutes to go here at this 150 Motorsport Ginetta Supercup 90 minutes, and Potter trying to close that gap down the Bentley straightaway as these Ginetta Supercup cars roar their way into Brundle. Lock up from the pair of them, especially when it's the left front that is really getting affected under heavy braking from a high speed. Tasha Morello Scott says hashtag Ryan broke the server. Well done. There we go.
Agreed. He did. What a rascal he is. So there we go on that one. Oh, there's something else that was weird. Oh my God, what's going on here all of a sudden? Never mind. I'm there. I'm all good. I'm all good.
We're fine. We're fine. Don't worry, folks. We're fine.
Don't panic, Mr. Bannerin. Don't panic, Mr. Bannerin.
Don't tell him your name, Pike.
Pike, yeah.
Good old Dad's Army. Good old Dad's Army.
Yes, that does physically mean that your commentators are the wrong side of fault here. I'm just going to let you know on that one. So we're both old.
I am going to be honest. So is David Addison. Bless him.
Oh, well, there you go. That's all right then. That makes up
the
all
legend
the best
that is David Addison.
Yeah, there we go. They're side by side now as well. Kart J and Potter.
Oh, Potter's around the outside and Agostini. Oh, nearly made it work.
Nearly. Nearly being the operative word. The problem is he's got nowhere now coming in through Hamilton. He's got if he's going to have a go, he's got to try and go up Oggies. Can't get it done there. The problem is we've got this Williams, Bentley, Brundle, Nelson, Bommel section going on, and the problem is neither of these guys has buried this section all evening. You know, they've been very up and down. We've seen Potter go shooting off in the opposite direction across Brundle and Nelson. So neither of these have got these completely right. So it's whoever's really going to get through here cleanly that might. And Potter again, big puff of smoke. Kartjay the same. And Potter at the moment still sitting in that third place. Just cannot get through.
They were both as wide as each other coming out of Nelson's as they go through the bomb hole now into the sweep here at Coram. And Potter is like a little Yorkshire Terrier nibbling at Kartjay's heels. Kartjay goes, locks up the brakes going through into Murray's, and it's wheel to wheel down the start-finish straight. Potter's going to get his nose ahead, possibly with the side draft. Wheel to wheel between the pair here, and Potter dives straight back behind Kartjay. On the run down to Richards, he sweeps to the outside. That's not going to work unless he can get the crisscross on Kartjay, but not on this occasion. Kartjay goes to the right-hand side into Wilson here at turn 2. And we're just under 41 minutes on the timer until the checkered flag. Kartjay and Potter, they literally have been, they've been conjoined at the wheels, so to speak, let's say. Because no matter how hard one of them tries to get one up on the other, they still cannot close on in on Adriano Medeiros, who is about 21 seconds old, sideways and a snap of oversteer as he applies the power at the tail end of Potter's car coming out of Agostini. Slips out to the right-hand side of Kartjay off the circuit. Oh dear, they're making mistakes left, right and centre of these two because they're so hell-bent on getting second position. Kartjay's got the advantage. Potter's trying to control the car coming out of Williams. Goes 2 wheels outside of the exit curbing, out of Williams onto the Bentley straightaway. And now Potter's lost a bag full of time because he was carrying too much speed through Oggies, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. Both of these have not got these sections right all night. And this is the thing. It's very, very difficult for these guys now because especially is the fact that that is a back marker coming up as well, and it depends on how nice this back marker wants to be. It's whether or not he's going to just move out the way and let these guys go through. Personally, I would love for him to F1 rule it, jump out the way, and we never ever see that in pretty much most simulators where somebody will just remove themselves from the equation. But he ain't battling anybody, so I don't really know who that is. But I can tell you one thing, if I was Kartjay now, I would be a little bit annoyed by that, but then again, he's all on his own. I've got a funny feeling, without being pedantic here, that could be McSquall or alongside him. It is.
Yeah, and Potter needs no second invitation. Dives up the inside. Yeah, that was McSquall they just got through on. So, greatly nice quick expedition by Thomas Potter to get through to keep with Kartjay as they now make their way down to Agostini's again, but Potter has been closer than this to Kartjay through into turn number 4. Now it's going to be the dab of brakes, then turn it in and apply the power through Hamilton, then into Oggies. And again, see now that Potter is matching Kartjay line for line, and he's right on his rear but goes a little bit wide coming out of Oggies. Can he clear it through Williams nice and neat this particular occasion? He's got to apply the power now. That's a lot cleaner from Potter. That's got him to within 6/10. He was a second behind Kartjay on the previous lap. We still have 38 minutes to go until the timer expires. Medeiros now 23.6 seconds ahead. Oh, Potter smoking the left front like a good one, both into Brundle and into Nelson, but still able to carry that momentum through into the bomb hole. Now into Coram, losing a little bit of time to Kartjay. The gap now 9/10 of a second, but Kartjay has made a pig's ear coming through Murray's. Is it going to be the same again? Not quite, but Potter carrying a little bit more speed. Kartjay clips the grass on the exit out of Murray's, and now well, Cart J able to get the traction down earlier. Thomas Potter finds himself 1.1 seconds behind.
Yeah, very easily done. Very easily lost time here for Potter. He's now just got to try and get his head down again and go after Cart J once more. Otherwise, the problem's always going to be there. And both of them, as I say, haven't been overly reliable to stay in front constantly without making errors on the racetrack. So they've got to be a little bit mindful of that. And Potter at the moment has just got to make that decision on how he goes about doing what he's doing. Does he really, really push, or does he hold back for a couple of laps and then push towards the end? It's very up and down at the moment of what these guys are going to do, but this is the closest battle. Tutors are kind of all on his Todd, to be honest. Sam Hayes is there as well. Mitch Marie is nowhere at this moment in time. I think Mitch Murray's DNF'd. Bob's still out on the racetrack. Chris Scott's still there. McSquall's still there, driving around on his own. Tom Wolfe is there as well. And the others are out at the bottom at the same time. So, yeah, closest battle at the moment, Mr. Cart J and Mr. Potter.
All down the Bentley straight we go once again, and Potter's right on the rear. He's going to pull to the right-hand side. Heading into Brundle, this could be the bravery moment that Thomas Potter needs, and it's to the inside, and they both nearly go off. Cart J's off the circuit. Potter, I think, has gotten through for P2, and Cart J's off the track.
Yeah,
and Potter done the sensible thing there at sportsmanship. I think he knew that he'd gone in there a little bit too robustly, and it's going to allow Cart J to go through back on him, and then they resume their squabble. And now they're side by side, heading through Coram into Murray's, and Cart J's going to have the inside line. Potter, can he get the crisscross? Coming out of the final corner, this is allowed. Ryan Turner, I think, is that behind them? Possibly no. He's 24 seconds back. But again, this is the most enthralling battle we have. There is still 35 minutes, and up the inside, through at Riches, through goes Potter on Cart J. Finally, the deadlock is actually done with a good, clean move up the inside, but Cart J not one to let this slide. He's going to keep with Potter for as much as he can and try and return the favour. Through into Palmer's. Cart J to the inside, retakes second. Oh, this is going to be an absolute nail-biter for the next 34 plus a few seconds, 34 minutes plus a few seconds, because Potter is trying to do what he can, force Cart J to make a mistake. Potter gets a tail snap of oversteer coming through out of Agostini, and he's now got to do it all over again.
Yeah, he has at the moment through the left-hander. They're coming down into the right-hander of Oggies. Potter on the brakes. Cart J's going to be looking to try and escape if he can. Not this time around. Through the right-hander is now coming into that tricky section, that Bentley, Nelson, Brundle, Bombhole, Coram area. And at the moment, there's lots of action still going on here, and I'm not quite sure why my camera's just done that. Thank you very much for that. As these guys continue to fight once more. Down into the left-hander. Hard on the brakes, Potter is. Cart J's on that inside line. Potter's going to try and go round. Oh, don't slow down. Don't slow down. That weren't you, son. He lost that all on his own, did Cart J.
It was all what Potter needed. Just an unforced error. Cart J applying the power too much on the brakes, and there he goes, spinning more times than Kylie Minogue on a bad day.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, there we go. Unfortunately, that battle came to an end very, very quickly, and now it's down to Potter to see if he can break away here. And at the moment, there are no real battles taking shape currently.
Yeah, so that now means that Cart J has got to do all that work again. It's dropped him down, I think, down to around about third or fourth. It's dropped him down to fourth position. So once we go through the next split, then it will show Cart J down into fourth place. So it's not been an easy one, but when you think about it, both him and Thomas Potter were battling tooth and nail. But what was it? The best part of over half an hour. Over half an hour of this race, those two were battling each other tooth and nail.
How is Potter behind Cart J, or is the timing tower just not caught up yet?
Probably not caught up yet, but there we see. Now Potter apparently showing down in P3. So is that Dave Tudor in front? That is. Right.
I don't think he's in the front, Alex. I think that the timing tower might take a minute to update it.
Yeah, so the jury's out on that one. I think.
Yeah, I think it's hold on your horses here, because I think this has gone, since this whole crash and situation, it's all gone a little bit
Pete Tong.
Yeah, a little bit Pete Tong at the moment. So I don't think Tudor is in front. Right, hold on. Where are Cart J and Potter? Right, Cart J is even the timing tower's out on the tower.
Oh. So
they've got no, Tudor's just jumped around there on the live timing as well.
So,
right, so
showing.
Yeah, there's Cart J there. Potter's in front.
Cart J's just got off at Rich's.
Turner's behind. And Tudor's in front of Potter. So at the moment, it's Medeiros, Tudor, Potter, Cart J, Turner in that order.
Yeah. So now, well, yeah, because I think, Dave Tudor was actually about 5 seconds behind. We're now seeing Cart J, throwing the Hail Mary up the inside, and has just got through. But Potter now trying to get through on Dave Tudor for what is effectively second on the road, and don't try and do that coming out of Hamilton going into Oggies there, Thomas. Won't do you any favours at all. He's going to try and carry the speed through here at Williams and onto the Bentley Straight. Neatly negotiated there by Potter on that particular occasion. There are a couple of places on the circuit, like say coming out of Palmer, touching two wheels on the grass with the right side tyres, and again Potter's brakes just seem to be absolutely being destroyed at the moment, going through into there's a bit of drama behind. I think that was Cart J being accosted, being assaulted thereof by the car behind him. I'm wondering if is that McSquaw behind him, possibly, I think.
Yeah, I think you might be right. McSquaw is behind him. So Adrian Medeiros is there. Cart J is in. Dave Tudor is in second. Potter's third. Then Cart J, then Turner.
So the battle for second position has found it being started again with Thomas Potter in P3 and Dave Tudor now in second. So the gap is next to non-existent between the pair. There's Ryan Turner sitting in fifth place, trying to close in on McSquaw, and if he can get past him, then he'll have a clean run at Cart J. So Turner's, that's a bit brave. He manages to get through around the outside of him before the apex at Agostini. And there is Cart J just in front. There's Bob, I think, just behind as well. Looks to be ahead of Mitch Marie, who's not actually showing up on the circuit at the moment, I believe. But more to the point, Thomas Potter has got to do it all again, but he hasn't got Cart J to get past. He's got to try and get through on Dave Tudor, and it's not going to be that easy. But they're just going over 100 miles an hour coming out of the bomb hole, going into Coram. It's about 110, 120 miles an hour. Then it's going to be hard on the brakes. It's going to be around about 50 miles an hour coming out of Murray's. And then it's down the start-finish straight where they're going to accelerate as high as probably about 140 miles an hour So 214, 216, about at 218 kilometers an hour in 5th gear that Potter and Tutor were doing at that point going into turn 1 at Riches.
We have the original timing tower back again.
Hey!
And it's right. Kart J, Potter, Tutor, Medeiros. So there we go. So we finally managed to get it back on that one.
Right. Shall we do something a bit different now that we've got Adriano Medeiros up front? When he goes across the line, coming out of Murray's, let's do a hot lap coming out of what will be. So let's ride on board with Adriano Medeiros coming out of Murray's corner. So 2nd gear up to 3rd, 145, 150, 170 kph at full speed. Now up to 5th. Approaching 130 miles an hour, just over 130 miles an hour, 135 going into Riches, taking at 4th gear at about 100 miles an hour. Back on the power up to 4th. 120 miles an hour, heading into the brakes, down into 2nd gear at around about 40 miles an hour. Through at Riches, through at Wilson's, now up the gearbox into 3rd, up to 4th briefly, back down to 3rd, 75 miles an hour, up to 3rd gear, applying the power, now 180 kilometers an hour, up to 5th, 120 miles an hour, now into Agostini, down to 2nd gear, at around about 45 miles an hour, shifting up to 3rd, 100 miles an hour in 4th, little lift, dab on the brakes, now down into 2nd gear, around about 50, 60 miles an hour, through at Oggies, now into Williams, who're going to try and modulate that throttle, 3rd gear, 70 miles an hour, and apply the power now, 4th gear, 110 miles an hour, and climbing, it's going to be hitting at north of 135, in 6th gear, 140 miles an hour, down to 2nd gear for Brundle and for Nelson, now accelerates, through into the bomb hole, applying the power through 3rd gear, 100 miles an hour, a little lift, and then it's apply the power through the compression zone again.
Oh, we've got to go back here. Sorry, Alex, they've been Potter and Tudor are running side by side. Through the left-hander they go of Hamilton coming down into Oggies. They're still side by side here as well.
There's Kart J as well.
Yeah, Kart J's in the mix. It's almost going to be a free-wide scenario coming out through Williams. Potter tucked in, Tutor, Kart J, Williams in behind that as well. They're all going to close up on that run down the Bentley.
Oh, and Potter gets it all crossed up coming out of Williams, and here goes Kart J on the approach into Brundle. Wheel to wheel, gets the nose ahead of Tutor, locks up the brakes. What's Tutor going to place the car? He's sandwiched in between the pair of them. And I'm going to be honest with you here, JP. Look who's not that far behind. Turner is closing. Turner is closing.
Yeah, but the question for Turner is if he's got enough to be able to keep up with them. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying, has he got enough to do it? And these guys have got to battle like ferocious lions to bring him into it, I think. I think we may get a 4-car fight for 2nd place here.
Well, Kart J's last lap was a 59.3. Ryan Turner, 54.7. And Potter up the inside of Tutor at Riches. Retakes 3rd. Oh, it's another chapter rewriting itself here, folks. Because Adriano Medeiros is away and clear by nearly 1 minute. That is basically 50% of the nearly 3-mile circuit. That's a 1.5 mile advantage that the Brazilian has at this moment in time when he's doing lap times. He's lapping the 153.5s. And there's a flash of lights from behind. And that is Ryan Turner saying, "Hello, boys. Remember me?" Because of the fact that he did a 54.7, Potter 59.3, Tutor 59.2, Kart J did a 54.7 and closed in, and now finds himself back up into 2nd position. So this could be a a quartet scrapping away for the final 2 places on the podium. Turner is just watching all the madness unfold in front of him. And with just over 22 minutes on the timer remaining, I think there's an outside chance Ryan Turner might find him, not necessarily in second, but if things might go his way, as Kart J makes a mistake, Potter closes in, Turner might think he's got an outside shot at the final step on the podium.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think Turner, it's really, I want to say he's in with a shout, but I think he's only in with a shout if these two take each other out. I don't, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Ryan Turner. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Tudor. I just think that these two, Medeiros, they've just got something more. They've got something more, and the only reason that I think Tudor got close to these two is because they were fighting, and I think the only reason he's able to stay with them is because they are still fighting. I think overall, in general, I don't know if Tudor or Turner's got enough to be able to stay with these guys. I think if these guys stop fighting for 5 minutes, they would pull away.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I think it's when you get to this late stage of the race, it's everyone for themselves, and they do say that there is pride before a fall, but it's about who makes the best of the situation. Lock up going through into Oggies by Kart J. Potter now within 3 car lengths as they come out of Williams back onto the Bentley straight again, and once more another clean exit by both Kart J and Potter. They're accelerated and going to now shift up into 6th gear, and they're going to be now, look at the closing rate from Potter on Kart J. Kart J, big lock up. Oh, Potter nearly into the rear of him, going through out of Brundles and into Nelson. And once again, yeah, this is just allowing Tudor and Turner. I think they might play it a little bit safe. Looks like there's another pit stop window opening. Ah, right. So it looks like there could be an opportunity for a splash and dash before the end of this race. So it looks like, well, we were told there was going to be 1 mandatory pit stop. Looks like there's going to be a pit stop window for those that might want to just put a little bit of fuel in, but that could really upset the apple cart of some people, like we're seeing here with Kart J and Potter. They covered each other off for the last pit stop phase, and Potter's now got the inside line. 2 wheels on the grass by Kart J into Wilson. Potter gets the inside line. He got the run, but he's going to have to worry about the over-under here by Kart J, and they're going to trade paint. A clash of door panels into Palmer's, and Potter lock up of brakes. That opens the door for Kart J. Retakes 2nd position. And now Tudor is going to be there. It's a trio swabbling over 2nd position. Turner, I think probably he might be the better off doing the following. Stay back, watch what happens, and then pick your moment. Because the Chinese fireworks could be...
Oh, no!
Oh, and Potter's got off. Potter's got off.
He hit the tyre barrier.
Oh dear. Thomas Potter, that has dropped him way down the order, and as we say that, new fastest lap of the race by Adriano Medeiros. Well, Medeiros has been running in the 153s quite consistently.
This is the tyre barrier on the left, Alex. He hit this. Whatever that is there, he hit it, and he shot himself off, and he's still trying to come back on. So yeah, I think he hit that tyre barrier and put himself off.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a look, because that was, yeah, so coming through, he harpooned it with the left front, and it just spun the car out backwards.
It came out of the middle of nowhere, just grabbed hold of him and said, "Thank you very much, son," and he hit that tyre barrier. Yeah, how he's got away with still being in the car without any damage, mind you, I'm quite surprised about, unless of course I don't believe damage is off, but maybe mistaken. But yeah, he seems to be running okay.
Yeah, it's it was just basically carrying. Well, I think sometimes you can just misjudged that steering angle. And when you think about it, folks, Potter now comes into pit lane. So it's now going to be a case of be on your marks, and it's going to drop him further down the field. But and Potter, I think, is just DNF'd.
Yeah, out.
So Thomas Potter, who was on course for a podium with what was that, an hour and 13 completed of the race, Thomas Potter has just become our latest casualty. So the battle will be between Kart J, Dave Tudor and Ryan Turner for that second and third place on the rostrum. But this man here, Adriano Medeiros, the man from Brazil, has been doing a stellar job. And Callum says, unlucky Tom, did really, really well. Catherine Potter says, unfortunate. Yep, it's racing. And it may have just done so much damage to the left front suspension, the upright and the steering. And it looked like the car was a bit leery trying to get the car into the pits. I did see a lock up of the brakes from Thomas. But you know what? He did a sterling effort to be battling that long with the likes of Kart J with Tudor. Kart J being his rival for pretty much, I think, 3/4 of this race. And now we're down to the last 16 minutes. 6 minutes to go for the final pit stop window. But of course, drivers still have done one mandatory pit stop each apiece. We weren't aware that there was going to be a second pit stop window opening, but maybe it just might be the default that's been put in on the server.
Yeah, maybe. I do wonder whether or not 2 pit stops is generally needed, though. That was the thing. We generally do 90-minute broadcasts, and they normally do need 2 pit stops. But it depends if anybody dives in. I don't think anybody's going to really take advantage of this. And yeah, maybe it's just there for people if they want it, I guess.
Yeah, very true. But we are very close to seeing Adriano Medeiros complete his 39th lap of this race so far. So on to lap 40 goes our race leader, Brazil's Adriano Medeiros, and he's just put in a 1:53.234, 2 1,000ths off his best lap of the race so far, and he's just making his way down to Wilson at turn 2. So he's really putting a number on the rest of the field. He's just showcasing the talents that he has, the talents that he's developed over a multitude of decades of close competition. Of course, Formula Ford has been going for over 50 years in many a different way, shape or form in terms of respective divisional or nationalised championships. Of course, we have the Formula Ford Festival that happens every November at Brands Hatch, along with the Walter Hayes Trophy that takes place at the home of British Motor Racing, Silverstone, every year. And the Formula Ford Festival has seen the likes of James Courtney, David Coulthard, Mark Webber, and some bloke called Jenson Button. Never heard of him.
No, who needs him? Don't even know who he is. He's from Frome, you know, in Somerset.
Apparently so. Apparently so.
He was apparently up Frome High Street in a doing a Formula One demo in the Braun GP car.
The Braun GP 001. Yeah, that ended up
the only 001 they made. He was
exactly.
He was there. He was up the apparently in Frome High Street. So there we go.
Wonders will never cease. 13.5 minutes to go, folks, until the checkered, and still the battle for second is going to be raging on like a mixed martial arts fight in the UFC. So we've still got Kart J, Dave Tudor, and Ryan Turner. The gaps are starting to elongate between the trio at the moment. So Kart J's got a run ahead of steam in comparison with Dave Tudor. Last lap, well, out of those three of Kart J, Tudor and Turner, Dave Tudor was the quickest by well over half a second, 1:54.35. Kart J 1:54.85. Ryan Turner 1:54.96 on their respective laps. But yeah, down to 9 runners and riders. We started with 13. Had some early DNFs in the form of Callum Paris, lost on lap 4. Mitch Marie, lap 22. Thomas Potter unfortunately, after that moment with the tyre barrier on lap 36. But still, it has been, I'll be quite, I mean, we were talking about this before going on air, JP. We were thinking about how, was it going to be a
snooze fest?
A procession?
Yeah, it's a snooze fest. The problem is with 90 minutes, there are times in a 90-minute race that you end up waffling on. We talk about it all the time, a lot in long broadcasts when we do them, Alex. And me and you sometimes been sat here for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours talking about it. And it's kind of the F1 section of the race. You watch the Grand Prix, you watch 10 laps, and then your mum brings your Sunday dinner out with your roasties and your chicken, and you sat there munching away for a few laps, and then you get to about lap 15, and then the bear kicks in who's eaten, and he decides that he wants to close your eyelids, and then your eyelids close, and then you all of a sudden jump up thinking that you've missed something and realize that there's 10 laps to go, and it is just about to get exciting again because the boring bits have gone over. This is kind of one of them areas at this time. The whole track the whole drivers are spread out. We've got 8th and 9th might be the closest together, and they're back markers fighting. 3 and 4, possibly Tudor and Turner might come and have a battle over the next 11 minutes. But this is the end. Oh, well, that's scuppered that because Turner's just gone off the side of the circuit. But this is the end of the Grand Prix where your roasties have worn off, your chicken's died down a little bit, you're woken up, you're watching the last 10 laps, and you're eating apple strudel with custard that your mother's given you as well.
She said, go on, eat your dessert, dear.
Yeah, while you watch the end of the Grand Prix.
Whilst you watch the end of the Grand Prix and saying, I expect to see a clean plate once you finish.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you do a thing like Men Behaving Badly, if you haven't ever seen that programme, where you lick the plates and you stick them straight back in the cupboard. So there we go. Saves on the washing up if you're a single bloke.
Oh, God, yeah. I remember that.
That was funny because they had the girls over as well. I think it was like the first dates with the girls or something. And they were like, oh.
Yeah, and I remember the actual names of the 4 actors. This is how sad I'm going to sound now. Martin Clune.
Yeah.
Tim Morrissey, Caroline Quentin, and Leslie Ash. There you go.
Absolutely. So, there you go. Great programme. Absolutely amazing.
I love that.
Yeah, it would be absolutely banned in this modern progressive society that apparently we live in. Now it would be outlawed, but it's like 1 foot in the grave as well.
Oh, dear. Rising Damp would be another.
Yeah, they would all be. It was comedy back then. It was funny. It wasn't people getting offended.
No, Keeping Up Appearances was another favourite.
Oh, with Mrs. Bouquet. No, dear, it's Bouquet. So there we go.
Yeah, with Onslow with the backfiring Cortina.
Yeah.
Oh dear, Love Thy Neighbour was another one that would be absolutely lynched if that was the case. And I remember seeing that when I was young. And but you had some. I mean, there was some really, really good comedies. Of course, you had what was it? I'm trying to remember. You had Hello, Hello, Gordon Kay about the French Resistance during the Second World War. That was a classic. Where he played Rene, the bar owner.
Oh, Rene, listen carefully. I should only tell you once.
Yes. Officer Crabtree, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
And then Lieutenant Gruber, Herr Flick, von Smallhausen. Then you had Helga, who would shout out, General von Klinkerhoffen. And he entered the building.
Yeah, but no reason other than he can.
Oh, God, dearie me.
The old days when jokes were funny.
Yeah, and if you're wondering about some of the comedies we're talking about, you might need to research them on YouTube if you can find anything.
Yes, absolutely.
But still, we've got 8 minutes to go, and well, Medeiros again has just been showing an absolute masterclass in the barriers, on the start-finish straight, on lap 1, having one of the worst possible bog downs you can have here at Snetterton from a standing start. Thomas Potter saying, thank you for the race, really enjoyed it. Well done, Thomas. Great racing out there with the likes of Cartjay and Tutor before the unfortunate demise through the tyre barriers, I'm afraid.
Through a tyre barrier? He didn't go through it, he hit it.
Well, he hit it.
He got a bit comfortable, decided to Netflix and chill the tyre barrier, and it shot him into yonder. So there we go.
But he was probably thinking, Thomas, I hope I was wondering if you were thinking you might have a little stock of Beach Dean ice creams in your fridge.
Yeah, maybe. But either way, he shot him off into yonder, did poor old Thomas, after he got a little bit snuggly with a tyre barrier that doesn't unfortunately move. So there we go.
Yeah, so the lead now with just under 7 minutes to go. Adriano Medeiros leading by nearly 1 minute and 10 seconds ahead of Cartjay, with Dave Tutor still in P3. Ryan Turner is not that far behind him. Look, they're just coming through the bomb hole and into Coram now. So Turner, I think, I did say this a little bit earlier, didn't I, JP? That he might have an opportunity. Now, if Tutor starts making mistakes, the physical and mental exertion for some drivers will start settling in. And Turner got a really, really good run with the traction coming out of Murray's. And that gap is coming down slowly but surely. Across the line they go onto lap number 44 into Riches. And Turner is absolutely flying. He's not that far behind.
He's not closing in right at the end here, to be honest with you. So Ryan Turner with 6 minutes to go. It's only going to be about another 3-4 laps possibly of what they've got left here over this race. So we're going to see how Turner does. Can he get onto the back end of Tudor? Only time will tell. And I can tell you what though, if I was Derek Tudor, I'd have that missus in the car, chucking out utensils, building walls, and whoever else I could put in there to try and stop Ryan Turner coming at me, because at the moment Turner seems to get a new head of speed. Maybe he's drunk a Red Bull and he's gone for it here with 5.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, gap is half a second as they now will go through into the right-hander here at Oggies. They've got Cartjay about a couple of seconds ahead of them, but that's going to be a bit of a tall order. If Turner can clear as they come out of Williams, now down the Bentley Straight here on lap 44. Turner still trying to close that gap. He needed to be a little bit closer to the rear end of Tudor coming out of Williams to have that opportunity. And now into Brund. Oh, Turner gets it all wrong. Oh, the back end steps out to the left-hand side, going through into Nelson, exiting Brundle. And that is it. I think that is not going to be an opportunity. He's going to get again. He's lost a big old chunk of time. The gap between him and Tudor now runs to the best part of 2 seconds.
Yeah, so one mistake literally says it all, and it's job done. And unfortunately for them, what more could you ask for from Ryan Turner and Derek Tudor? Well, it is what it is, and that put ends to the other battle we had running.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But still, Ryan Turner might try and give it all he can, but he's going to lose time, especially if he late brakes like he did just then, going through into Wilson. We're lap 45 this race, and our race leader is soon to complete that lap. Adriano Medeiros, not that far behind Sam Hayes, who's just about to put a lap down on as they come across the line. So lap 46. So yeah, we're probably going to get, I think we're probably going to be, yes, we're on lap 46 now, so I'd say 2 more to go, so probably looking at 48 laps of the circuit will have been completed by the end of this race once Adriano Medeiros crosses that line and takes the checkered. But Turner losing more time. It's that opportunity when he went through Brundle and Nelson last time around. That was his chance, and now Tudor's got an easy 3-second advantage over him. But never say never, folks. There could be a possible mistake coming from somebody in front that might give Turner that window of opportunity, however small it might be.
Maybe. Let's see how these guys get on with about 2 minutes 42 on the clock. The leader's gone through, of course, and is now going down the Bentley. Is going to be, I want to say 1 and 1 more, Alex, but I'm not entirely sure if that will be the case.
No, I think we're getting a bit too close for comfort. It just depends how quickly Medeiros clears Brundle and Nelson. So he's got to be at least 1 minute 50. Well, call it 1 minute 55 to go across the line. Medeiros might actually make it 2 more laps. He's now going through into Coram, and then it's going to be braking hard here. This is going to be on the wire here, folks. So makes his way through. Yeah, we're going to be on 1 more lap to go. 1:53. Okay, with about 1 minute and 50 seconds, just under, Adriano Medeiros takes us on to what is going to be our last lap of this race. He crossed the line with 1 minute 45 remaining as he heads through Riches. Now the run down into Wilson here at the second of 12 corners here at Snetterton, and it's on the power once again up through the gearbox into the slight sweeping left-hander here at Palmer, and then the short shoot, accelerate through the gears again. 4th, 5th, now into Agostini on the brakes down to 2nd, and it's just been a pretty good masterclass. As I said earlier on, bogged down at the start, got jumped by Potter and Cartier, ends up being broadsided actually into the wall, into the barriers on the left-hand side of the circuit, dropped down to 10th position, and then slowly but surely started putting in that real-life experience that he's got from so many years of competing here in the United Kingdom, and he's now going to go down the Bentley straight. 30 seconds. Medeiros through Brundle, now into Nelson. Nice and neat and tidy from the Brazilian, putting on a hell of a masterclass here at Snetterton 300. Through the bomb hole, through Coram. It's going to be tight on time, but this is going to be our last lap of this race. And after 90 minutes of Ginetta Supercup action here at Snetterton 300, it's going to go the way. Parabéns, well, actually, final lap has been called. It's Parabéns, Adriano Medeiros across the line, takes the checkered by a commanding victory, which is going to be the best part of 75 seconds.
Massive victory there for Medeiros. Cartier's going to come over. Well, he's still got half a lap to go, so it's possible that Cartier, Tutor and Turner might end up coming back together.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really close. They're coming out of Williams for the final time. Oh, bit of a pig's ear made by Tutor on that particular occasion. So that's lost him time. 1.2 seconds, give or take, behind Cartier. Now into Brundle. And into Nelson. Cartier, no lock-up of brakes from man in 2nd position. Through into the bomb hole, down the dip. A little bit of adverse camber to the right-hand side through Coram. And it's about getting through cleanly here at Murray's. If Cartier makes an absolute pig's ear of it, it could be the opportunity that Tutor needs to get on through. Lock up of the right front, but Cartier still keeps it on the racing line. He's going to come out of the final corner. Cartier takes 2nd, and Dave Tutor will round out your top 3 on the road. Ryan Turner will be the next driver to cross the line, and then we'll have Bob in 5th position, being the last driver to cross the line. So Cartier takes 2nd, Dave Tutor takes P3, and Turner, Ryan Turner crosses the line in 4th, and then we've got Bob in 5th position. He comes out of Murray's for the final time, and now we'll power to the checkered flag here at Snetterton 300. And there he goes as the sun starts to set here in the Norfolk countryside. He takes P5, but it's Adriano Medeiros that wins the 90 minutes Snetterton 300 Spectacular here in the Norfolk countryside, just on the outskirts of Norwich. What a race that has been. Medeiros showing a masterclass. Cartier, Tutor, et al. Trying to battle away, including Thomas Potter, who DNF'd on lap number 36, but still a pretty good run nevertheless.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I quite like it. Didn't quite get me, 60 laps of F1 sleep. But to be honest, I thought it was really good. Not that, I'm not saying I wanted to sleep for 60 laps. That's not what I meant. I'm just saying that, as we discussed earlier. But I thought it was really good. Medeiros just, at the beginning, caused chaos. Couldn't get the car off the line. I don't know if he intentionally thought he'd go from the back and try and race everyone or whatever, but he just caused absolutely drama. And there was a lot of other drama in there as well. But, yeah, the race had it all the way through. So great job, all of them.
Yeah, so well done to everybody. A big thank you as well to our good friends at 150 Motorsport for giving James, I think, what was it, a late call-up on this
Friday.
one?
Saturday, he told me.
Saturday last week, he was on the blower, James, and saying, can you do anything on Tuesday? And you went, which Tuesday? This coming Tuesday.
Yes,
so
very short notice.
The cavalry, in the other words, myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and James Parfitt, we have been your commentary team here tonight. A big thank you to everyone that's been in the chat, from Tasha to Thomas's parents, Callum, Catherine, Thomas's sister, Sean, Trevor, and everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. A big thank you to everyone taking part. A big thank you to 150 Motorsport for once again allowing us to do a fantastic broadcast here on Assetto Corsa using the Ginetta Supercup cars here at Snetterton 300. That's it from us now at this moment. Don't forget, if you haven't already, like, subscribe. Plenty of racing action here on the JP Broadcasting Network 7 days a week, from single seaters to ovals to tin tops to GT3 cars and so much more. Hit that notification bell, and why not follow us on social media whilst you're at it. Thank you for tuning in, and if in doubt, well, you better go flat out. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.